And welcome back. Even though Governor Larry Hogan has almost 2 more years in office, the list of those who would succeed him continues to grow. This week, former U.S. Secretary of Education John B. King Jr. formally announced that he is seeking the Democratic gubernatorial nomination, and former Lieutenant Governor Michael Steele suggested that he was considering running as a Republican for the Republican nomination. Mike, I have to confess that I never heard of Secretary King before his announcement. That isn't surprising if he was a Baltimore guy. How serious is his candidacy?
I think I don't think he's necessarily laid the foundation that he needs to have, and especially when you look at the fact that somebody like Rashern Baker has also announced that he's back in the race too. I'm not sure how former Secretary King presents himself in a way that resonates broadly. That being said, we're a year out from a primary, and a lot of folks are going to be throwing their hat in the ring. But no, I think that the Democratic Party needs to identify a strong candidate and start to begin to coalesce around them, because I think the Republican Party is going to have a couple really strong and good and attractive candidates.
And so that is a perfect segue to Mark. And so, Mark, after bashing the Trump administration as a spokesperson for MSNBC, does former Lieutenant Governor and former head of the Republican National Committee, Michael Steele, believes he will be attractive to Republican primary voters?
He would have challenge in winning a primary. I think he'd have to do a pretty convincing job of explaining which of the policies of the Trump administration he supported, because those policies are very popular among Republican voters. He's lost a primary before. Ran for the first time ran for controller. He lost a primary. I think he'd have an uphill battle, and I think generally speaking, the Republican Party will be coalescing around Kelly Schultz for governor.
Well, I just know that from the exposure that I've had, that there's a metamorphosis going on in the Republican Party, and it's becoming much more dominated by more conservative people on the right than a moderate like Michael. I mean, I've known Michael a long time, and I don't think he's going to have a very warm reception in the party.